The hunt for Gabby Petito's fiance Brian Laundrie has just taken a bizarre turn. Dog the Bounty Hunter has announced that he will also be joining the search for Brian, and even went as far as showing up to his family's home in Florida. Duane Chapman, who's better known as Dog the Bounty Hunter, has officially joined the search for Brian Laundrie. Chapman, who is a reality star and former bail bondsman, said that he was going to take part in tracking Brian down days after the FBI recovered the body of Brian's fiance Gabby Petito, ruling her death as a homicide. At first, Brian was simply a person of interest in this case, but after they noticed that he was using Gabby's bank cards, the FBI issued a warrant for his arrest. Recently, he decided to visit Brian's parents' house, but after knocking on the door, he was only met with silence. He later told Fox News, "The reason I went to Mr. Laundrie is I carry a reputation with me. The reputation is he gives you a second chance, he's gonna get you, but he gives you a second chance." This case actually aligns perfectly for Duane as well. As a father of 13 who lost a daughter around the same age as Gabby Petito in a car accident back in 2006, this one hit close to home for him. Plus, he was in Florida already on a honeymoon with his wife Francie Chapman, but cut that short after multiple people began reaching out to him to join the search for Brian Laundrie. Brian's parents initially reported him missing on September 17th as they told police that he had been gone for 3 days. 2 days later, an FBI-led search came across the remains of Gabby Petito at the Spread Creek dispersed camping area north of Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Duane also had a message for Brian's dad and said, "The dad can still reach out to me through social media. Let's get the kid captured alive." While the search continues at a swampy reserve near the Laundrie home, many outside experts believe that there is no way Brian could survive in that area for long. Dog the Bounty Hunter has also set up his very own anonymous tip line and said that he's been getting calls every 2 or 3 minutes. So far, much of the information that he has received has been pointing him towards the Appalachian Trail where Brian had previously camped. Duane added, "If there's anywhere out there that looks the hottest, that could be the area. I think he's young enough, not an experienced criminal, but what is his greatest experience? Outdoorsman. That's what he does the best. I don't think he can shoplift, live on the run, live in cheap hotels. On a 1 to 10, he's probably a 6 compared to the outdoorsmen and some of the guys I've captured." The trail is not going to be a foreign territory to Chapman if that's where Laundrie ended up going. Duane had taken part in a massive manhunt back in 2015 along this trail for 2 escaped convicts. Experts believe that Brian is most likely moving by night when the authorities call off their search and hiding during the day. Some people believe that Brian went south of the border, but both Chapman and other experts say that he is probably not in Mexico. Duane spoke to the press about this and said, "A white boy that doesn't know Spanish, the cartel's gonna grab him for the reward, so he's not down there," adding that he is more than likely still in the United States and perhaps somewhere along the East Coast even. In addition to Dog the Bounty Hunter joining the search, the FBI paid another visit to Brian's home and requested more personal items belonging to Brian to assist them with DNA matching. Authorities have also notified the public that 2 separate rewards totaling $30,000 have been offered to anyone who can provide law enforcement officials with Brian's whereabouts. So hopefully with this incentive and Dog the Bounty Hunter joining in, this search should be coming to an end shortly. We just got some crazy breaking news that Brian Laundrie's family has called the police on Dog the Bounty Hunter after he joined the search for their son. There is currently both a reward and warrant out for Brian Laundrie's arrest. Police recently confirmed reports that Brian Laundrie's parents called the police on Duane Dog the Bounty Hunter Chapman after he showed up at their house in Florida this past weekend. The Northport police responded after getting a 911 call from the family. They apparently said that Duane was just walking around their property, which we did see multiple clips of earlier today, including him straight up knocking on their front door and taking questions from the press on site. Josh Taylor, who is a spokesperson for the Northport police, told Insider.com, "We did not tell him to leave, he left on his own." And while speaking with Fox News, Duane said that it was a shame that the Laundrie family didn't want to speak with them, but at this point, why would they? This is their son who is now on the run from the FBI. The only way that they are speaking is through legal representation. Dog the Bounty Hunter also had touched on getting approval from the police and told the press, "The police said we were welcome to knock on the door, and so we did. I wanted to tell the Laundries that our goal is to find Brian and bring him in alive." So far, Dog says that he has received more than 1,000 tips on this special hotline that he created for people that have information about Brian's whereabouts. Hopefully all of that is being shared with law enforcement though. Despite having Laundrie's parents call the police on him, he does seem confident about finding Brian. He went on to say, "We're going through all those leads right now. I would say within 48 hours we probably will have a location where we start the tracking at." He had previously suspected Brian to be somewhere along the Appalachian Trail, but perhaps these leads will pull him to a different direction. Either way, we will have to wait and see. Duane Dog the Bounty Hunter Chapman has joined the search for Brian Laundrie after the disappearance of Gabby Petito, and he has already found some interesting evidence. Not only that, but he is claiming to have footage of Brian and his parents arriving at a Florida campsite just days after Gabby went missing. So it seems as though people are more trusting of Dog the Bounty Hunter than they are the FBI or Northport police. After opening up a hotline for tips on Brian's whereabouts, Duane is said to have received over 1,000 tips. Now he is claiming to have found the campsite where Brian and his parents stayed after Laundrie returned home without Gabby. After her remains were found in Wyoming on September 19th, with her death being ruled as a homicide, the search for Brian has become intense. According to Duane, though, one of his tips pointed him in the direction of Fort DeSoto Park near St. Petersburg, which is about 75 miles from the Laundrie family home in Northport. He went on to claim that the family had been there twice with their son in early September, allegedly from September 1st to the 3rd, and then again from the 6th to the 8th. Chapman tells Fox News, "They were registered, went through the gate, they're on camera, they were here. We think at least if he's not here right now, we are sure he was caught on camera as he went in the gate. He was here for sure, not over in the swamp." For a while now, though, these search efforts were concentrated on the Carlton Reserve, which is about 25,000 acres of just alligator-infested water, just 13 miles north of the Laundrie residence. However, as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, there's no way that the parents were giving the police honest information about their son's whereabouts. Duane goes on to say, "Allegedly what we're hearing is 2 people left on the 8th, 3 people came in on the 6th, and 2 people left on the 8th. I think he's been here for sure." Another reporter also said that they overheard a park worker saying that investigators had already checked surveillance video on the grounds, but the FBI had no comments on this whatsoever. So most likely the FBI knows that the Laundries were at this campsite, but they're just not sharing this information with the public like Dog the Bounty Hunter is doing. The Laundrie family lawyer is continuing to hold the position that Chris and Roberta Laundrie do not know where Brian is, adding in a statement, "They are concerned about Brian and hope the FBI can locate him. The speculation by the public and some in the press that the parents assisted Brian in leaving the family home or in avoiding arrest on a warrant that was issued after Brian had already been missing for several days is just wrong." Now, despite the FBI charging Laundrie with using Gabby's bank cards, they did say they will continue to investigate the facts and circumstances of Miss Petito's homicide. Oh, and Duane has already alerted the authorities about the campground location that he believes could be a major clue in this case. This could indeed be a big breakthrough on this case if Dog the Bounty Hunter has somehow linked Brian's parents to assisting him in escaping from the police.
Duane "Dog" Chapman, the bounty hunter, is best known for his hit reality TV shows that show him and his family tracking down fugitives on the run. Dog has recently come back into mainstream attention because he's decided to join the hunt for Brian Laundrie, who's a person of interest in the death of Gabby Petito. But I wanted to tell you a little bit more about the reality star and some past scandals that you might not have heard about. And let's get into the top 10 Dog the Bounty Hunter controversies you need to know. In at number 10, racist. Over the years, multiple sources have come out alleging that Dog is a racist. Even his own family have come forward against him, exposing him for being racist and saying the N-word on many occasions. His daughter Bonnie revealed he was racist and homophobic in a Facebook post she wrote in an attempt to expose him. His son Tucker even leaked a private phone call between him and his father, where Dog can be heard using the N-word several times. To make matters worse, Dog was using the slur in reference to Tucker's girlfriend, who was black. The conversation was leaked to the media in 2007 and led A&E to temporarily pause production on Dog the Bounty Hunter, but the show later resumed following Dog's public apology. In at number 9, didn't invite daughters to his wedding. After his wife Beth passed away from throat cancer, Dog remarried to Francie Frayne. But the couple decided not to invite Dog's 2 daughters with his late wife Beth, Cicely and Bonnie Chapman. Cicely and Bonnie complained to TMZ that they'd been left off the guest list for the wedding, claiming it could be because his daughters remind him too much of Beth. Bonnie doubled down in a Facebook post, revealing that she wasn't invited because she supported social causes like BLM protests with a show she was on called The System. And at number 8, claims to be Native American. One thing that Dog seems particularly proud of is his Native American heritage, but many people don't believe it's real. He claims that his mother was Cherokee and proudly wears items stemming from Native American culture, like feathers in his hair and native jewelry. But many people deny that Dog's mother was ever Native, and they claim this is all a big lie he sells to market himself. One theory states that Dog's mother was actually a Polish immigrant who came to the US and identified with Native American culture after befriending people that lived on a reservation. And apparently she just started telling people that she was Cherokee. And at number 7, 2011 lawsuit. In 2011, a man named Hoang Min Fong Nugent filed a suit against Dog and his team for defamation. Back in 2009, while Dog was hunting down Nugent, Dog claimed that Nugent shot at him and his crew while they were trying to arrest him. Nugent claimed in the lawsuit that what really happened wasn't shown accurately on TV, and Dog exaggerated what really happened. What was shown on TV resulted in Nugent losing his job and reputation, even though the charges against him were dropped. Dog apparently promised to hand over video evidence proving his side of the story was true, but he never did. And at number 6, bad parent. In his lifetime, Dog has been through multiple marriages and divorces, resulting in many children. Because of all this, it's not hard to imagine that he wasn't a great parent, because his time was just stretched so thin. His daughter Lissa actually wrote a book about it called Walking on Eggshells, where she spoke about her upbringing, making the claim that she had a bad upbringing and her mother was an alcoholic, while her father was addicted to drugs. She claimed she even falsely accused her father of abusing her, saying she concocted the story so she would not have to live with him. She wrote in the book, quote, "It was a horrible life that I never wanted to go back to. Living with him and Beth and the fighting and the substances. When I got to my mother's, although she drank, it was much more peaceful. I was in school, I had friends, I was willing to do anything to not go back." Halfway number 5, no biological father. On his sister's deathbed, she revealed a dark secret about Dog that had been hidden his whole life. She claimed that Dog was not actually the child of their father, and he was only half related to his other siblings. Apparently it's the reason that Dog's father was much harder on him compared to his other siblings. His sister was dying of a very bad infection, and because she knew she wasn't going to make it, she told Dog, quote, "By the way, I want to tell you that Dad is not your father. He is Paula's, Mike's, and mine, but he's not really yours, and maybe that's some of the reason he beat you more." Apparently after he learned this secret, he understood why his father treated him so badly, but he still considers him his real father. And at number 4, Dog cheated on Beth. Dog and Beth built an empire together, and she was a staple in all of Dog's TV shows, becoming just as recognizable as him. But apparently their marriage was not perfect, and their daughter publicly stated that Dog cheated on Beth. She said, quote, "He would cheat on my mom all the time, and I hated him every time he did it, but I forgave him for that because I wanted a relationship with my dad." Adding, quote, "Since my mom died, my dad ran away from the person she inspired him to be. He began to do that when she was sick in the hospital, and he began to have an affair with a friend of my mom's." And that's actually true. It was revealed that after Beth passed away, Dog started seeing one of the bridesmaids that was at their wedding. And at number 3, new show cancelled. Dog is best known for his hit A&E show Dog the Bounty Hunter, as well as Dog and Beth on the Hunt. But after a few years away from reality TV, he was hoping to make a comeback with a new show called Dog Unleashed, tracking the whereabouts of major criminals. But the show ended up being cancelled right before it was set to premiere on Unleashed Entertainment. The CEO of that network said in a statement, quote, "We greatly respect the incredible work of Duane Chapman, aka Dog the Bounty Hunter, tracking down and bringing fugitives to justice. Unfortunately, Unleashed Entertainment received reports of actions taken by Mr. Chapman during the show's production that breach our contractual agreements." There was no detail given for how he breached his contract, but clearly an investigation was made that led them to that conclusion, and it must have been something pretty bad. And at number 2, served a jail time. When he was only 13, Dog dropped out of school and lived with a motorcycle gang, and in those years he was in trouble with the law quite frequently. In 1976, when he was 23 years old, Duane was waiting in a car when a friend shot and killed a man during a deal gone wrong. Even though Dog didn't do anything, since he was in the car, he was charged as an accomplice, and he was convicted of first-degree murder, and served a year and a half in jail. It was during this time he decided to become a bounty hunter, and he changed his life drastically when he was released. Dog said about the incident, quote, "I shouldn't have been there. That's sad." And finally, number 1, N-word pass. As I mentioned before, Dog has been in trouble on multiple occasions for using the N-word, but after being confronted about it, he claimed he thought it was okay because he had an N-word pass. He said, quote, "I've never been a racist. I'm 33.5% Apache, but because of over 15 years ago, I have an Achilles heel because I used the wrong word. I thought I had a pass in the black tribe to use it, kind of like Eminem." When asked who gave him this supposed pass in the first place, he said, quote, "I just had gotten out of prison in 1979 after spending time, 18 months in Texas, and it was probably 3/4 from the black tribe." Dog recalled, "So that was a word that we used back and forth as maybe a compliment. My pass expired for using it, but no one told me that."